This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I do not know about you, but I'm very tired of people electing morons into Congress. It is beyond me, and it seems to be exclusively, like there should be a dumb shit caucus. You know, there's the Freedom Caucus, there's the Progressive Caucus. There should be a dumb shit caucus. Because between Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Louis Gohmert and Eli Crane and these other nuts, this is what we're going to talk about today. So Eli Crane is an Arizona representative. He's this guy. He's the guy who perpetually looks like an out-of-work magician who's just scraping to get by. Remember this clip maybe a couple of months ago from a House hearing where he really proved himself to be a rambling, stumbling, bumbling goof who just happens to be a member of the United States House of Representatives. Then we'll get to what he said, the reprehensible, dumb thing he said yesterday. First, a reminder of the out-of-work magician.
Ms. Murphy, does it concern you, some of the revelations that have been coming out of the Oversight Committee about the millions of dollars that have been paid to the Biden family recently?
I'm not aware of money being paid to the Biden family.
Oh, you're not aware of that at all?
No, sir.
That's interesting. You work for the FBI, right?
Yes, sir, I do, but I would respectfully refer you to the investigators over that case. I'm sure we can get you a brief on that. That is not a case that I handle.
Yeah, well, I don't need a brief on that, ma'am, to know that there are nation states that have paid millions of dollars to the Biden family.
All right. I played that to give you some understanding that this isn't just a trip up. This isn't just an isolated incidence of idiocy. One, it's not just idiocy. It's the same question that I have about Tommy Tuberville. Is he stupid, or is he sinister, or is he stupidly sinister or sinisterly stupid? I mean, it's some amalgam of the two, right? Well, the same goes for Eli Crane, member of the House of Representatives, member of the Republican Party, very likely member of the Freedom Caucus. I don't have the roster in my head, but here he is, just on the floor of the United States House of Representatives saying reprehensible things.
Arizona.
Well, Mr. Chairman, though that was unbelievably inspiring, my amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay? It has nothing to do with color of your skin, any of that stuff. What we want to preserve and maintain is the fact that our military does not become a social experiment.
And everybody in the room knew that it was a problem, not just on the Democrat side, where you heard shouts of protest. I'm going to play it very briefly again when he says it. Watch the dude behind him looking down, and as soon as he hears him say colored people, he's like, oh, yikes, that's a problem.
My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve.
Yeah, dumb. Again, the question, sinister, stupid, or some mix of the two. We know the political affiliations. We know the political ideologies that these people follow. So this is not a slip up. We'll bring it on the ground. We'll talk like adults to one another. When's the last time that you slipped up and used those two words? When's the last time, when not reading a dated history book or a newspaper article from 80 years ago, that was said? You don't slip up, especially when you're on the floor of the United States House of Representatives, a supposedly sacred space, a space where there are certain rules of decorum. These things are still talked about as though they matter there. If you're not careful of your words there, when you've got cameras and microphones and a stenographer taking down every word that you say, where are you careful? Kevin McCarthy just said, I take him at his word that it was just a slip up, that it was just a mistake. I've never heard him say that. But that's not an accident. You don't just slip up and say something horrible. Now, the other thing I want to talk about very briefly is Anna Paulina Luna, Congresswoman. And you know how I always bang on about these conservatives who have their little constitution in their pocket and they wave it around like they're a patriot. They're so dedicated to the prospects of preserving this document that they have a copy on it at all times. I put it next to my heart inside my suit jacket. That's the attitude. Here is a perfect example of that. She breaks out her little pocket constitution, her little virtue signal. Look at me, I've got the Constitution. And then she goes on to out herself as an absolute dumb shit who has no idea what this document is about. Watch this.
A lady from Florida, 30 seconds.
The gentlelady is recognized.
Chairman, I couldn't help but pull out my pocket constitution, and I couldn't seem to find anywhere in here where it says we need to fund programs for humanitarian aid for women and children in Afghanistan. So with that, I just wanted to point that out, and I yield my time.
The gentleman reserves. The gentlewoman from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, the text is not in the Constitution, it's in the bill. And with that, I yield 2 minutes.
You know what else is not in here? Well, there's lots of things that aren't in the Constitution. I'm assuming that Anna Paulina Luna drove a car recently and she's a licensed driver. It just escapes. Where in the Constitution is it that the government can give a driver's license to someone? Completely oblivious to enumerated and unenumerated powers. Completely oblivious to the wisdom and, in some points, the genius of this document. Unbelievable that we continue to elect abject morons in Congress. People who don't have a functioning use of our language. People who don't have a functioning understanding of the same document that they rose their right hand and swore to protect and preserve and defend. They swore an oath. How can you swear an oath to something that you have no idea what is in it? If you came to me with it's like it's signing a contract having never read it. It's a betrayal of the thing that she carries around in her pocket like she really knows about. It's gross. So please, this election season, when you're faced with a choice of for whom to vote, of whom to send to Congress, are they stupid? And if they are, make the right decision. Come on, man. Come on. What do you think? I'd love to know. Are you in one of these two idiots' district? I'd really like to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can also email me the old-fashioned way, daily@dollemore.com. If I bring you value on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis or any time, if I bring you $1.99 worth of value a month, please consider supporting my work, helping produce what I do right here on this channel. Click the join button below, click the super thanks button below, or even better, go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on social media. Love to see you there. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I am knocking on the door of 500,000 subscribers, and I thank you so much for allowing me to do the weirdest but super cool job that I have. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another. And by taking care of one another, by not electing idiots, you are taking care of one another.